When it comes to the capsule wardrobe, there are a lot of different opinions online on how much stuff we should own, and a lot of people actually disagree with each other. So today I want to give you a more personalized approach on how you can figure out if you have either too much or too little. For that, I'm gonna use a fun ice cream example, and then at the end I'm also gonna share a checklist you can use for yourself to assess in which category you fall and what you can do next. First things first, let's talk about this ice cream theory and how it feels when we have too little or too much. And for that, we're gonna use our imagination. So if we imagine walking down the street on a sunny summer day, and then we start craving ice cream, and when we see the ice cream shop, we get so excited. But then once we get there and we realize they have only 2 different flavors available, all of our excitement is gone because they don't have the flavor that we wanted. In this situation, we're gonna feel deprived and like we don't have enough options. But even if they would have the particular flavor that we wanted in that moment, if you imagine going to this ice cream shop once a week or even more, sooner or later, we would come to a point where we would feel deprived and like they don't have enough options because we don't crave the same thing all the time. Sometimes we want something sweet, something fresh, something a little bit more creamier, something a little bit lighter, all of that. But now let's imagine something a little bit different. Again, we're walking down the street and we're craving ice cream. But then once we come to the shop, we realize they have 50 different flavors available, 50 with a 0 at the end, that's right. And we right away start feeling overwhelmed and we kind of freeze because we don't know what to pick. But then the worst part is that even after taking a while to make a decision, there is very high chance we're gonna feel some regret and fear of missing out. We're gonna question our choice a little bit and think, what if there is something better I should have picked? This is very well explained in the book called Paradox of Choice that I personally read, and it's so fascinating because we may think as humans that the more choice we have, the better we're gonna feel, but the opposite is actually true. We have a sweet spot because after that point, we're gonna often feel regretful, and then that regret will lead to self-blame, and we're just not gonna feel satisfied and happy with our decision. And the same goes for our closets. When we have too much, we're gonna freeze, we're gonna need more time to make a decision, and then even after we make an outfit, we can still have that background noise of maybe I should have worn something different. But luckily we also have a third option. So again, if we're walking down the street, we're really exhausted now, we've been walking for such a long time, and we start craving ice cream, and then we go to the shop and we realize they have, let's say, 7 different flavors. In that moment, we feel happy because they have enough variety of different flavors, so we won't feel deprived, but they also don't have an overwhelming amount, so we won't feel like we missed out on something. And this is the sweet spot we're looking for in our closet as well. We want to find a number that really works wonders for us, that makes us feel happy and joyful, not deprived, not overwhelmed, nothing like that. And once you really realize what works for you, decluttering, organizing, and finding your style becomes easy and joyful. This is the ice cream theory in a nutshell, and if you've come this far, leave me the ice cream emoji, of course, down below so I can know. And I'm so sorry if you started craving ice cream now that I'm talking about it so much, but I hope you have a nice flavor at home or somewhere near you. Also, of course, before I forget, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you! But now, as I said, let's go through the checklist, and here I have 2 different sections we're gonna go through. So first, you're gonna answer the questions in the first section and you're gonna make a note of your most common answer, and then we're gonna go through the second section. You're gonna make a note of the answer here as well, and then I'm gonna tell you what you can do with these results. For the first section, I'm just gonna ask you the questions and you have to answer with either yes or no. Very simple, and as I'm asking about these questions, you can close your eyes and you can just imagine so you can see how it feels in your body to make this a little bit more easy. First, do you ever stand in front of your closet not knowing what to wear? Just imagine opening the closet and just staring there for a while. Second, does it feel easier for you to go shopping for a fun event than it does to browse your own closet? Again, we want to imagine if we get an invite, what do you do in that moment? Is it easier to go shopping or not? Third, is your closet hard to keep organized and clean? You're gonna know about this one right away. Just answer yes or no. Fourth, do you have trouble remembering most of the items that you own? Here I would say that 80% counts as most. So if you can remember less than 80, you would have to answer this one yes. Fifth, do you wear less than 50% of your wardrobe? Again, this is gonna be a little bit of estimate, but just go with your best guess. And sixth, does your closet brings you a sense of chaos and overwhelm as opposed to peace? If you again close your eyes and imagine how you feel, this is gonna be your answer. As I said, this is the first section and you wanna look at your most common answer and take a note of that for later. But now we're gonna continue with the second part as well. And again, I'm gonna give you some good questions here. First, do you often feel like you want to wear something you don't own? Here we're really focusing on how frequently you feel this way. Second, do you often feel deprived? Again, frequency is what matters here. Third, do you feel like you're repeating your outfits too often even though you like or even love the look at the end? Fourth, does your closet inspire boredom instead of joy? If your closet feels joyless, you have to answer this one yes. And fifth, do you feel guilty or materialistic if you own more than a specific number of items? Maybe you heard it from someone else on the internet or from someone in your life. It doesn't matter. You just want to think about that for a second. And this is the second part done. Again, you want to look at your most common answer and write it down. And by the end of this, you should have 2 different answers written down in front of you. And that leaves us with 4 different combinations. And now I can tell you what they actually mean. If yes is the most common answer to the first part and no is the most common answer to the second part, this means that you have a closet full of items that you absolutely love, but the quantity is not right for you because you actually have too much stuff. And in this situation, what I would recommend for you to do is to do a good strategic declutter so you can have all of the items that you love in the quantity that makes sense for you. But if your answers are a bit different and you answer the first part with yes and the second part with yes as well, this means that yes, your closet is too big, but then at the same time, you don't have enough items that you absolutely love in your wardrobe, which means going straight to the declutter is not going to be a good idea. What you want to do here first is work on finding your style and favorite outfit formulas, and then after you have a good grasp on what you like and what you don't like, then you can go back into your closet and do a good declutter. As I'm talking about all of these problem areas, I actually have videos for every single topic, which I will link down below, so don't worry about that. But if you answer everything with a yes, you first have to find your style, and then after you feel confident with that, you go into your closet and do a declutter. But now to the third combination. If you answered your first part with a no and the second part with a yes, this is a clear indication that you actually have too little in your closet and you genuinely need more pieces. So in this situation, I would recommend that you strategically start adding pieces to your wardrobe. You create a wardrobe wish list and you slowly add pieces into your wardrobe until it feels like your closet is at the right spot. And I know this one is not really common. Most people don't have too little, but to be fair, it happened to me with some of my bags and some shoes because I just over decluttered. So that's why I wanted to include it in here. If this is you, go slow and mindfully add some pieces to your wardrobe. And then the last possible combination is of course that you answered everything with a no, which means your closet is perfect for you. And this is something we should all be striving for. This checklist is my gift to you so you can use it whenever your life or closet changes, so you can know exactly where you're at and what to do next. And as I said before, I have a solution in a video format for every single problem that I mentioned, and I will link it down below in the description so you can find it for yourself. But this is it for today. I really hope this is inspiring and that it's helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.